Have you ever looked at a highly successful entrepreneur and wondered, what do they have that I don't? We often trick ourselves into believing that success is about having a trust fund, knowing the right people, or just getting lucky. But if you strip away the money, the networking, and the luck, you are left with the true foundation of success. It is an invisible divide. It is mindset. Today, we are going to break down exactly how to think like a successful entrepreneur. We are going to rewire the way you look at problems, money, and your own potential. By the end of this video, you will have the mental framework to start building your own path. It doesn't happen overnight, but the shift in your brain can happen right now. Let's start with the hardest lesson of all, how you deal with falling flat on your face. Rule number 1, redefine failure. For the average person, failure is a massive stop sign. It brings shame, embarrassment, and a reason to quit. They launch a product, it gets 0 sales, and they say, I guess I'm not meant to be a business owner. An entrepreneur looks at that exact same 0 sales day and says, fascinating, the market didn't like that. What can I tweak? They don't attach their personal worth to a business outcome. They view failure as data collection. Think of it like a scientist in a lab. If an experiment explodes, the scientist doesn't cry. They write down the results and adjust the chemicals. To think like an entrepreneur, you must embrace the reality that you will fail. You have to fall down to learn how to walk. The only true failure is giving up completely. Rule number 2, become an eternal student. The business world moves at lightning speed. Technology changes, consumer habits shift, and new platforms emerge daily. If you are not constantly feeding your brain, you are actively falling behind. Successful entrepreneurs are notoriously heavy readers. They consume podcasts, attend seminars, and constantly seek out mentors. But they don't just consume entertainment, they consume information that they can apply. They study psychology, marketing, history, and human behavior. When you think like an entrepreneur, your car becomes a mobile classroom. Your morning walk becomes a strategy session. You begin to realize that the most valuable asset you will ever own isn't a piece of real estate or a stock portfolio, it is your own mind. The more you learn, the more you earn. It is a simple equation that never fails. Rule number 4, master the calculated risk. There's a massive misconception that entrepreneurs are reckless gamblers who bet their entire life savings on a whim. That is entirely false. True entrepreneurs are risk managers. They understand that playing it completely safe, like staying in a job you hate for 40 years, is actually the most dangerous risk of all, because you risk wasting your life. Instead, they take calculated leaps. They ask themselves, what is the absolute worst-case scenario? If I lose this money, will I survive? Can I recover? Once they realize the worst-case scenario is usually just moving back in with their parents or getting another job, the fear disappears. They make a solid plan, protect their downside, and then they jump. They know that you cannot steal second base while keeping your foot on first. Rule number 5, cultivate extreme long-term vision. We live in a world of instant gratification. We want next-day delivery, instant streaming, and get-rich-quick schemes. The entrepreneur's mind is wired differently. They practice delayed gratification. They are willing to eat ramen noodles and work 18-hour days in silence for years just to build something substantial. When you have a clear 10-year vision, it becomes very easy to say no to distractions. You stop caring about what people think of your humble beginnings. You ignore the shiny objects and the quick cash grabs. You know exactly where you're steering your ship. While everyone else is reacting to the daily news and the daily drama, the entrepreneur is looking at the horizon, calmly adjusting the sails, completely unfazed by the daily storms. Rule number 5, relentless execution. Here's the harsh truth. Ideas are cheap. Everyone has $1 million idea in the shower, but ideas are completely worthless without action. You can read all the books, watch all the videos, and have the most perfectly crafted mindset in the world, but if you don't actually do the work, nothing will ever change. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting until you have enough money or enough experience or until the economy is just right. The perfect time is a myth. The only time you have is right now. Start messy, start small, but start. Build the habit of taking action today. Be the person who does, not just the person who talks. Your future self is depending on the work you put in right now. So, what are you going to build today?